The group was able to rescue Silverlock and Graham from the British jail, and in episode 36, they return to the safety of Mulligan's house. Mary remains there with Graham while he recovers from his wounds, and Thomas, Silverlock, and Dr. Channing go to the aid of General Washington's forces at Harlem. After battling the British, they receive intelligence from one of General Washington's spies, Nathan Hale, who informs them that John Dee has given special bullets to 3 different hunters. These 7 bullets have been infused with shavings of the Philosopher's Stone, and he presents one of them to the party. The other 6 bullets have been spread amongst 2 of Robert's Rangers and a Hessian sharpshooter known as Katze. These special bullets were clearly made to be used against Rubidoux, who has manifested dangerous and uncontrollable pyrokinetic abilities. At the conclusion of episode 36, Silverlock and Mary both experience a powerful magical disturbance.
Yes, in our last episode, the party, at least most of the party, assisted with the rebels who were basically the rear guard for Washington's forces. And they helped to fend off the redcoats to prevent Washington from being caught in a pincer. Afterwards, the party was given a letter from... they were called into Washington's tent. Alexander Hamilton was there, and they were given some intel from Nathan Hale, which is available in the letters under the character handouts.
A message from Nathan Hale.
Yes. And then the last thing that happened is those who are sensitive to such things were hit with a magical disturbance, like a psychic scream of agony. And I mentioned saying that if you use something to gain insight and kind of focused on this, whether it was prophecy or sense magic, you might be able to, if you were to focus in on this, you might be able to get some more information about that.
Wait, sorry, psychic. It was a psychic scream?
Yes, like
Virginia getting attacked by Albedo.
I would have already connected a slight connection already before I even roll. I'm going to say I had a prophecy where Albedo screamed at the very end. But I can also roll it too. I mean,
Mary is with Graham, right?
I will say you guys have caught up with them at Washington's camp just as the psychic scream hits everyone.
just as a side note, what was chapter 36 called?
The Battle of Harlem Heights.
Okay.
Not all of my chapter titles are creative. Some are just the battle that we're playing in.
So when you say we all hear it, is it just the magic users or?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, so.
Just those with... Actually, the magic users and Thomas would feel it not as a psychic scream, but as an intense reaction in the lodestone.
Is there any noticeable reactions that Graham could observe and kind of be made aware something's happening, or is it just, I don't know, I guess what's happening?
Mary looking very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Also, the dog is probably howling like crazy. Like,
doesn't the lodestone like emit light when it's, or is it more of a vibration when it's?
It emits light, but this is particularly intense, so it's glowing and it's also kind of vibrating.
So you guys might also notice my lodestone glowing, depending on where I have it.
Yeah, if you're wearing it, if you're not concealing the lodestone, they would
I'm not at this time. If I was stealthy, yes.
But yeah, the lodestone is glowing. The dog is barking like it hears the mailman.
Is it, just out of curiosity, is it only my dog or?
All dogs.
Yeah.
No,
sometimes there's like high pitched.
Special.
Okay. Sometimes there's like high pitched things that cause dogs to bark too. That's not in the human spectrum of hearing.
Like crystal sensors attached to bombs.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't
That's
go
not what I
out
was
because
talking about. I'll roll that I assume academics occult is what you said, or was it magic?
No, this would be a magic roll. You would essentially be trying to use your prophecy to see what is causing this. So this hits you, and you kind of immediately go into like your prophecy state. And as this intense wave subsides, your vision kind of gets pulled along with it. It does not take you to Virginia Dare. It takes you to a place in New York that looks very familiar to you. The tunnel that some of you used to escape the home of John Dee. It takes you to the exit to that tunnel that you emerged from. Pulls you into the tunnel. In the darkness, you see a glimmer of red flame that appears to be like there's someone just collapsed on the floor of the tunnel and they seem to be on fire. And then that's it. Your consciousness returns to you.
Someone is unconscious on fire. Interesting.
In the tunnel leading to John Dee's house, yes.
I have a feeling that a fire is going to start soon. Is what you would hear me say after dogs are barking and lodestones are going off.
If I hear that, I immediately want to look in the direction of York and see if,
City is still standing. There's no smoke rising from it yet.
Yeah,
Most of New York is under British control at this point, correct?
A good portion of it, yeah. You guys have lost basically the southern tip of Manhattan, so yeah, most of the city I would say is
I can cast my spirit sense, but all it does is it changes my perception. I can use my magic skill for detecting magic, but if you want, I can roll that. It's up to you.
So with my magic roll, does it feel like...
Yeah, if you succeed in casting the spell, I would then allow you to kind of follow the, be able to follow the wave as it retreats, and you would likely be able to follow to the same place that she did.
Now the thing is the spell does not have a casting requirement to be able to cast it.
Okay. And if you go into that mode, you can kind of see the energy wash over everyone, and then see it kind of retreating in that direction. You can follow it if you wish.
Yeah. I was going to say it just basically I can do perception on magical things. That's well,
that's how you perceive it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Adam.
Yes.
I have those 15 points that I was wanting to put into magic defense essentially.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. I don't have the book here, but it would give me a +2 against.
Yep. I know the talent because I'd given it to Pitcairn. Or Pitcairn had an artifact that gave it to him. So yeah.
What is the talent name?
That's what he's searching for.
Yeah.
Just give me a moment.
One of the few magic talents you can get after character creation.
Psychic resistance. Gains a +2 bonus to resist rituals, psychic powers, and supernatural abilities.
My keyboard is not working. I'm just
I will put it in for you.
Yeah, that would be
use a
really
switch
great.
on this. There should be a switch here.
Is there?
Yeah. My other computer is having that issue where I have to type something into a Word document and then copy and paste it into either Facebook or Discord.
I wonder if I open a Word document, if I type on the screen, if a computer screen keyboard would open.
It might be a battery issue.
You've already added that.
I've already added psychic resistance.
You have. You must have added it and not spent the points.
I haven't been using it.
I know. But yeah, you or at least you put psychic resistance +2 to resist magic, page 9.
I did put it in there. Okay, yeah, I put it in there as something I want, but it should have been in parentheses I want.
Okay. Well, the point is, it's there.
At this point, it's there.
And I know you haven't been using it, so
Yeah,
you can start using it now.
I also can't backspace to get rid of these points, Adam.
Sweet babe.
Yeah.
I can bring you up some AAA batteries if it's that issue.
I don't.
But
Oh, wait. I found the button.
Oh, I just did it for you.
You're good. You're good.
So long as we're housekeeping, Graham, having gotten back to the camp and kind of trying to be caught up on what's happened with the most previous combat, he'd be trying to make sure he can obtain a new musket because he has no more gear.
Graham can obtain a musket and a pistol at the very least.
So pistol too. What about a saber of any kind? Or no?
Generally, those would only be carried by officers who wouldn't part with them.
Okay, yeah. Though then he wouldn't care about that.
Probably obtain a knife or a bayonet.
Okay, I will take a knife.
You do notice that Silverlock has a saber.
He does. That's right.
Silverlock is an officer.
I don't think he'd ask him for it though, because for Graham, he's not really a swordsman. Like he carried Cairn's saber because it's more of a trophy, but he did get to using it. But I don't think he'd go out immediately for trying to reacquire one.
Did claim one from a British officer.
Yeah, I think he'll if he can collect a musket, pistol, and just a knife, that he spends his time there until this is all occurring.
Musket, pistol, knife.
For the cool factor, can when I be getting screamed at magically in my ears, can that be when I acquire magic resistance and then the screaming becomes just a little bit quieter?
I will say yes. As it's starting to overwhelm you, you kind of push back against it. Almost like necessity being the mother of invention, you kind of gain this ability.
That's fun. I like that. Cool.
But yes, it is. So you now know it is not coming from Virginia Dare. It is coming from within New York.
But it's probably part of the occupied.
Oh, yeah, it is. As I said, it is John Dee's house. And the last time we were there, it didn't end well for you. Well, it's the
I don't know exactly where. Yeah. Beckett, Meredith knows exactly where it is. I'm just saying, okay, well, it's just that's where it's coming from.
I would recommend any New York houses in that vicinity that don't want to catch on fire have a good layer of water on them.
Washington looks over when he hears that. What are you talking about? Congress ordered, and I conveyed the order, that the city is not to be burned upon retreat.
It won't be burned by any means that is of a regular fire.
Washington, his hand goes to the Philosopher's Stone ring.
Something more involving that, yes.
Whatever is loose in the city, is it something that, in addition to being the general of this army, I am also a member of the Order of St. George. Is this something?
Yes, something. Well, are you aware of Legion?
Dr. Franklin did inform me. I wasn't.
Well, let's just say
not in favor of the idea of creating it, but yes.
Let's just say John Dee, one of the original founders of the Order of St. George, made his own versions, higher tech, and one of them is not currently able to control his emotions and is having a bit of a flare-up.
And what do you suggest be done about this?
Well, I know some bullets with Philosopher's Stone shards have been given out, probably to put him down. However, I don't know what the damage will be, and I don't know if they will kill him or when that will happen, but I do know that that is in the works currently.
Well, I look at Meredith. It's like I don't think they were after Rubido.
Well, they have bullets out there like that are after one of 3 options, more likely 2.
And what are your plans? You've proven quite capable, and I thank you for the service you provided me here in New York, but I almost feel as if I'm wasting your talents on the battlefield.
I have a feeling if we're not quick, this city's going to burn.
If you believe you can stop it, then I would give you leave to do what you must. I'll provide you with what resources I can, but
Well,
General.
Yes.
He's in British controlled area, so
I may be a latecomer to the party, so to speak, but I did hear from my compatriots of certain special musket bullets. Have we been able to obtain any of these?
Washington has no idea.
Was he not
You guys
privy
know
to
more
this?
about this than Washington does. And
silver.
remember, you have the one that Hale provided you guys with.
Oh, so we do have one already. Okay.
You have one, and according to his letter, there are 7 total.
Okay, then
And-
Graham wouldn't have said anything then. I thought we didn't.
Well, Washington does have his ring that Franklin gave him that has a bit of the stone in it.
Right. The bullets are not made of Philosopher's Stone. It's more like the dust of it was put in the...
Yeah,
the
like
mold
when-
and they were
when
being
he took off a piece, there were crumbs, and he was like, "Let's put these in bullets." That
Pretty
seems
much.
like a good
Yeah.
idea.
It's no worse an idea than laying garlic around a big campfire.
It
It's
worked.
like I wonder, it's like if a bullet can kill
The
one,
garlic zone was very effective.
what would happen if you stuck a piece of philosopher's stone from like Washington's ring into the body or
Right.
make him swallow? Would that have the same lethal effects?
Yeah. And I'm going to point out to you guys, the piece of the stone in Washington or Franklin's ring, it's small. It's like the stone you would find in a ring.
Yeah, it's
Meredith's piece is bigger. It's a little bigger around than a quarter.
Oh, I remember. I was gonna use the points for using it as a. That's what I was gonna
An
do.
artifact.
Yeah.
If you want that instead, I will.
Yeah, you were gonna do a downgraded version of that.
Yep. And I have some idea what that would give you.
Yeah. Did I feel like I would have put I want into the psychic resistance.
I did not see that, but you did have it. You have it listed twice on your sheet. You have it listed once under your talents, where it would be presumably if you had bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have it listed again down near the bottom, where presumably you were listing things you were planning to buy. Though I think you've.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the notes section. Mm.
Adam, is Franklin anywhere nearby?
No, Franklin's in Philadelphia, being in Congress.
Piece of crap.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. It's like if we could borrow Washington's ring that Franklin made that has, it's like if push came to shove and if someone misses with their shot, maybe making him swallow the stone or putting it inside his body with the, me punching him with having the ring on, or who knows?
Could I roll like a magic on the Philosopher's Stone to see what I could do with it?
Sure.
Would I roll magic or occult?
This would be academics occult.
Okay. I kind of want to put style points in it. I'm also getting a slight feedback. I'll put one in there. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing today. Should I put 2 style points in it? Yeah, let's do that. That seems like a really good idea.
You got 4, so that's...
The Philosopher's Stone, historically it had a number of uses.
I know the number of uses, but I feel...
So, in game terms, since it could be used to create essentially what would call the homunculus, the artificial life form, it could give you the spark of life talent, which is normally done with weird science, but could also be used for magical creations.
What is the spark of life talent?
Lets you make living
artifacts,
essentially,
like sentient robots and.
Oh, we make those?
I can do it now.
I mean, you would need someone with the spark of life talent and somebody else with like the.
Also, more importantly, how would Silverlock react to an automaton?
Probably go berserk.
Yeah.
Imagine if made out of wood. He's like, wait, do I dislike this? Nature is moving. Do I?
Another function of the Philosopher's Stone was making the elixir of life, which would give you a bonus to your healing abilities.
I'd be primarily concerned with the elixir of regeneration.
And then obviously the final one is it grants the immortality talent.
We could use that. All of us could use that.
Uh-huh.
We die a lot.
Okay, what just happened? My headset just died on me.
We're talking about.
It lets you create living things, gives you a bonus to healing, or makes you immortal. That's what the Philosopher's Stone does. I will tell you guys now that while Silverlock was carrying it around, he was technically immortal and couldn't have died.
That explains a lot, actually, Mr. -7 hit points or whatever you were.
Yeah, it's like that whole time I'm like, yeah, Jeff, I know you have it, and I know what it does. Well, he was functionally immortal, and even had he been killed, he wouldn't have stayed dead.
So my question is, if we use bullets with Philosopher's Stone, wouldn't that have the opposite effect of killing them?
No, because a bullet is made to unmake someone.
Just saying.
A bullet is a bullet, no matter what it's made of.
I mean, presumably
It's like
John D would have known what he was doing. If there's anyone who's an expert on the Philosopher's Stone, it's him.
Worst
And
case,
so if he believes these bullets could unmake them, then
worst case, it'll be like shooting Wolverine with a bullet made out of Wolverine steel.
I really think
Wolverine steel. I like it.
I can't remember.
the more I think about it, the less I like the idea of actually having the Philosopher's Stone.
okay. Well,
Okay.
you're the one who has it. You can give it away, bury it, throw it in the harbor. You have options. Getting rid of stuff is easy.
I mean, honestly, I know we're saying a bullet is still a death sentence, but also imagine it's like really fast healing, direct to your skull. Like it's just I want you to live, then just boom, or Persona, Adam for you.
Yeah. I mean, out of control healing has a name. It's called cancer.
That's hurtful.
I'm going to once again look at
Do the bullets cause cancer?
Yes, the Philosopher's Stone is actually just uranium.
Oh god.
You're carrying red. That's why it's so shiny.
I
It glows
think I
in
would.
the dark.
I think I would have a brief conversation with John about how to get the Philosopher's Stone to Virginia.
I'd probably say when we have time, but I think we're sort of hard pressed right now. It's like if anything, if you want to leave it with Washington in camp, but that's you know, on the off chance-
Washington or giving it to my dog to give to Virginia?
No, we need to supervision.
We should hold on to it.
Or we all go. But honestly, I think we need to
deal with Rubido, yeah, or whatever, yeah.
Might I request that the bullet be left in my possession?
Can I do an academics occult on the bullet?
I couldn't time that in with your other role. You don't know. The bullet isn't something there's lore about. You're just kind of assuming that. Again, if anyone knows
what can be done with the stone,
if
it's
there's any,
be the guy.
If there's any expert on the Philosopher's Stone, it would be John D.
Let's go ask Wade.
Would Virginia Dare know something about it? Perhaps.
No. She's basically a woman who's been stranded on an island for practically her whole non-life.
I think we need to find out what happened. Did you tell us about the vision you just had?
I would have, yeah.
Okay.
At the very least, I would have told John. We would have had a
Yeah.
brief discussion about it, and you did hear me talking about flames.
Yeah, and that's why it's like, and I'm like on it. I know where it's coming from.
I know we've just left that city and much. We almost faced the noose back there, but I fear we might need to go back in. If you've got a vision of where he's going to be, we have the solution, supposedly. I don't wish to see New York burn. York City.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we need to go. If something's going to happen, and if we don't want New York to burn, which I don't know if that's really a much of a loss, but
Mr. Channing and Mr. Vane, you both have your outfits for when you saved us, right? We still have those uniforms.
Yes. Yes.
You do you? I assume you weren't wearing them in the battle against the Redcoats, because
they would have changed on the way.
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys would have left them at Mulligan's because they were.
Oh yeah,
they were by Mulligan, who presumably had them. He was working on them for someone.
So we wouldn't think to carry them with us because they're really useful.
I
think we had to return
Mulligan
them because
would have given them to you. I think
okay.
They weren't made specially for you. He's a tailor who works on them. He probably just had some that he lent you.
I remember we did say that we brought them back to Mulligan because he had to give them to who they actually belonged to.
There goes the Wookiee prisoner idea.
Actually, it doesn't have to. We managed to capture a number of British soldiers and officers during the battle.
My thought process, I mean, I've been vocal about it. I think we need to do what we can to prevent the city from burning. If we have an idea, through whatever means, that we believe we know where this tunnel is, that he either will be it or is, if we venture back into the city in disguise, if we can, as I do not envy any man put to the noose again.
Can I roll an academics occult to see if I can figure out a way to prevent this magical overload of
Rubido?
Yeah.
Sure.
I have no idea, but I'm gonna roll for it.
Decent roll. 3.
Yes.
3.
You have some ideas. It's possible that there is something broken within him that perhaps healing him could kind of put him back, especially healing him using the Philosopher's Stone from which he was made could kind of put him back together. On the other hand, Philosopher's Stone power is literally like pouring out of him in the form of fire, so giving him more might make things worse.
Killing him, and
It's also possible killing him could work, but then again, it's possible that killing him would remove what little control he had over it, and he dies and takes out a few city blocks with him.
What I'm wondering is, how did the Philosopher's Stone power change into flames? Like, that particular conversion of magic shouldn't be allowed according to the rules that have been set. Is there...
I will tell. All right, I'll give you that part. It's not magic.
Son of a bitch.
You have figured out over the time you've been observing the Sons of John Dee, their abilities are not magical rituals that they're casting. It's some kind of innate. Basically, they're using these psychic abilities rules. They're not casting spells. They've got essentially, psychic abilities. What modern people might almost describe as superpowers, but the telekinesis, telepathy, pyrokinesis, these are all things governed by the psychic rules.
he's the Human Torch.
Is there something in particular, like, that is causing that conversion of magic, or is it like in their brain, part of their body type thing?
That you don't know. And you've seen, again, they have different powers. You knew that Rubido and Negredo had some kind of telepathic bond. Albedo obviously had the healing ability. And,
I think it's weird that Negredo and Rubido had that, but Albedo did not.
Yep.
Now, was there a fountain at John Dee's house in the maze, or
Was there a what?
a fountain?
I think there was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
In the back gardens of, well, it wasn't John Dee's house that you had the summit at. It was the estate of a loyalist
But
ally.
but that's where Rubido, or at least whatever the source of the psychic scream was coming from, was in the tunnels.
Yes, the rage was coming from under the escape tunnel they used to leave John Dee's house as you were getting captured. And no, there was no fountain in that tunnel.
Okay.
Are you trying to think of how we can put the fire out?
Yeah.
Well, there are fires that are very difficult to put out, like an oxygen candle fire in particular is what comes to mind, where you can't suffocate the fire because the fire itself is creating oxygen, which then causes the fire to burn.
Well, that's why.
Which is
water, or you cover it with dirt, and it's.
If somebody would like to make an academics history roll, I might be able to give them some information.
Would that be academics occult with a -2?
Yes.
Okay.
Academics philosophy -2.
Sure.
-2.
So really, whichever of you has the highest.
No idea. I don't know.
I have a 6.
Okay. Well,
I had
then.
it. Yeah. Who has the dog barking?
It's
in the
me.
background?
So-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know there are. Specifically, I'm thinking of something like Greek fire, which is, 1,000 years old, even at the time of the Revolution. Which, burned on water. Essentially, it was a weapon used in naval warfare for that reason. So yeah, historically, even without magic, there are certain
I think putting dirt on it is a good solution, as long as there's, yeah. Well, no, like burnables in the dirt.
And I will remind Mary that one of her visions did depict Rubido basically in a dark, claustrophobic place. You've had a couple of visions of him in. Yeah.
That's albedo.
Well, if we could collapse the tunnel, that's. Since I was never in the tunnel, can people describe it?
There was no map, but there were stairs that went downwards, and it was relatively dark tunnel that kind of went straight, and then it led to a cemetery where there was not an ambush because I checked.
And I don't know if you'd know this or not, but Adam would. Was it an earthen tunnel or was it bricked up or?
It was basically natural stone. It's not like bricked up. It's not man-made. It's not finished, but it's probably been like carved into the natural stone. Like it wasn't there. Someone would have had to have made it, but they didn't.
Some areas supported by wood.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that's like on, okay, it's like if it's stone, then no chance of getting plants into it, getting the nature's embrace. That's
well. Oh no, I imagine it probably has sections where the wood is supporting it. When I was in the tunnel, did I see where he was in it? Like, could I give him a description if he requests it?
I mean, considering it's very hard to see anything in the tunnel, it's a straight tunnel, but
okay.
Yeah, you guys kind of had to feel your way along the walls because it's dark and has no light sources.
Yeah, see, I was thinking of ways of collapsing the tunnel, but if it's stone, it's kind of hard for getting roots to collapse it. So that's, like I said, thinking of options, but I don't think we have that many.
I don't know where my premonition was where Rubido was in the dark.
So how are you going to get back to the city or to where he is? Are we going in disguises or what?
I'm not personally convinced we need to go deal with that.
How do you propose we stop him? Do you have another way of identifying where he's going to be?
I can tell you, I can trace where it's coming from, but
Well, let's do it. We need to prevent York from burning if we can, and if not, then I propose we go after John Dee himself.
yeah, I think Washington said he didn't want the city to burn. That's
Yes. So historically, there were some in the army who talked about burning it rather than giving it to the British, and Congress told Washington, no, don't do that.
But that's Congress. Whoever listens to Congress.
There are so many jokes in there.
Yeah.
Come now, people live in this city. We can't let it be burned.
Okay. Well.
Oh.
I mean, people, like you said, people live in the city. There's no particular reason why we need to.
My understanding is Rubido is going to burn the city.
Right now he's unconscious.
Maybe we should go and retrieve him.
We also have no way of knowing if he actually is intentionally going to burn a city or if that's going to be an unfortunate accident.
When I saw the visions, was the person's eyes open? Did they seem conscious or were they like sleepwalking?
it looked like they were just kind of collapsed on the ground and on fire.
In this
General-
in this current one, but like in the previous visions I had of
In the previous one, I mean, he was in a dark place, kind of sitting slumped against a wall, alive, breathing, almost like a prisoner.
I thought one of them you had him walking in the city with flames shooting out and New York burning.
There were a couple visions of someone, a silhouette, who was like out like this, not like walking, but just like this, giving off fire.
So crazy idea. If we do know he's chained up and currently being held against his will, let's go save him.
that. Adam was very concerning when you said almost like he's a prisoner. I find that concerning.
In the battle for York, we saw some sort of devilry happening, and we've always said that Rubido is tied to that. Yes, is it possible there's two forces?
I'm sorry. In the battle for York, there was devilry happening. Which one was
Do you
this?
remember those wraiths that started attacking everybody?
Oh, that was Croatoan's consort.
Is that
Yeah.
not what you've been saying Rubido is? Becoming?
No,
No, Croton's
No.
consort is a lady. That's
no. The Hound Albedo is currently in recruitment, but he doesn't know it.
Well, can it be this consort that's going to burn the city in your visions? This magic stuff is beyond me, and I will take a seat on the nearest barrel or chair and just...
I'm gonna just show this. It's the image of Rubido burning the city is or someone burning the city. I kind of got the idea from this painting.
Yikes.
This is from Heroes when they had a vision of someone
Oh wow!
blowing up New York.
Mm.
What a throwback!
This is kind of what inspired that vision.
This
It's
is
not-
this is very this picture is very premeditated looking.
Yes,
which is why I said it's not exact, but as I said, this is kind of the image that inspired that vision. Again,
But
and
visions
the
can
one you
always
had,
be
his arms are more
symbolic.
out to his sides, not like out in front of him. But
Visions can always be symbolic, like
yeah, it's kind of like this though. Like it's a silhouette. You're presuming it's Rubido, and I think you have good reason to presume that. But yeah, silhouette of someone wreathed in flame, just burning New York to the ground. That's what the vision was.
Graham is still gonna kind of like sit down, almost like a defeated. Yeah, you can figure it out.
So saying we should go save him. Let's go find out where he is.
Yeah, it's throwing your stone quite a bit, and there's this much power.
I mean, if he is held prisoner, he's gonna become angrier and angrier. If we save him and talk with him, maybe we can change his destiny. Assuming he is held captive against his will.
I can tell you, or I can show you where he's at, or wherever the source of this that blast was coming from. So it's
Sounds like
just
a-
whether or not we want to go just as we are, or
Well, I would probably ask, depending on where he's being held captive, if we can see he's held him captive, maybe we can get some change of clothes.
I would
he's at a
prefer-
cemetery. Well,
So zombie clothes then. Got it. Okay.
I'd prefer not to face the noose again.
And Aaron, your character came through the tunnel, so you know it comes out in a cemetery.
Yep.
The entrance is, well,
John D's house.
Yeah.
So
the kitchen of
Rebecca
John D's
is hesitant to bring a philosopher's stone to a cemetery.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
That's good logic.
Sounds a little dubious.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen. That's not.
like I said, it's like I would think it'd be safe leaving it with Washington.
I think it's safe leaving it with John, but
Well, yeah, but if I'm going with you guys
mm,
to this, it's like
Yeah.
I'd rather it not be going with us. That's all I'm saying. It's like I hate not having it, but I'd rather, since the last time I was there, I got captured. I think I would. He's saying it's like it's probably safer to leave it here for the moment.
Washington, does he have any upcoming battles planned?
Well, we could leave it with his wife, with
Mm.
Martha, since she is here.
Yes.
We did meet her.
I mean, he's not planning any major assaults, but
Mhm.
Doesn't always get to choose the time and place of his battles.
Yeah. Do you think he would be willing to hold on to it?
We could ask. That's all we can.
Yep.
Push comes to shove, we can take it with us, but I'd rather. I
Does-
think it might be a little safer not going into action every time.
Yeah.
But there's probably spies in this camp too, so it's like it's.
Anytime we're talking about the Philosopher's Stone, like I wouldn't be the Philosopher's Stone, announcing it. It would be.
It'd be it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should keep it
Sure,
with us.
like when they talked about the nuclear bomb, they just called it a gadget.
But
Thingy.
or like I said, it's. I have mixed feelings either way. It's like because it's like it could be safer with us, but we are going into compromised territory or enemy territory. So
And John D is very insistent on having his Philosopher's Stone. He's very angry that we took the big one.
I was gonna say, good thing you had it and not me, because if he asked me,
I think that was the one time I rolled like a 2 on my lie.
hey,
I mean, if Jeff's character had had it, when he got captured, they would have gotten it back.
True.
like I said, in hindsight, I probably should not have surrendered. I should have picked them up and ran with them. But
Yes, but
hindsight's
as my
20/20.
one-eyed professor used to say, hindsight is 20.
Oh my god. Sometimes I question why I join these games, and I hear I'm talking. I'm like, this is why I come here for this.
The bad jokes.
Because he steered you into it.
I had a really good dad joke last night. I can't even remember what it was. It was really funny though. Adrian
Let's move on.
Adrian complimented my puns.
To which Adam thinks, if I was there, I could have done better. Adam's like, Aaron, stop reading my mind. Aaron, stop it.
If I couldn't have done better, I just would have stolen it.
If you can't beat them, steal their memes.
Yes.
So yeah, what is the plan?
I'm inclined to leave the stone with Washington, explaining that it's
Yeah,
something that a demon will use to, destroy the world if he could. And to not let anyone have it ever or know about it.
Very well, I will protect its secrecy as if the fate of our nation depended upon it.
yeah. Hopefully, we didn't need that to
Yeah,
to keep 'em
hopefully
from
none of us
going.
die while we're gone.
Oh no, or that you needed it to cure. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We do have two people with healing, so
Well, the problem is that his life is not the same as an actual life.
so probably my healing abilities probably wouldn't work.
I actually think the opposite. I think natural healing is far more superior to the using magical healing on a magical person.
On
Who
the
knows?
Philosopher's Stone, is there
Good
like a
point.
crumb that I could break off?
I will offer you my knife.
I mean, you certainly could. Again, the piece you have is a little bigger than a quarter, so yeah, you could shave off a tiny bit.
It's not that big. Oh, okay. I was imagining it like an actual like.
That's the main Philosopher's Stone that you left with Virginia
Oh,
Dare.
okay.
Everything left has been broken off of that. So
I might.
Washington, Franklin, and Dee have pieces like the size of a ring stone.
A few
Yours
carrots.
is a little bigger than a quarter.
It's actually, if it's not that big, in my brain I imagine it bigger than it actually was. It might actually be useful in helping him. Is a possibility. John, do you think we should bring it with us and I could just hide it, in my shoe?
Yeah, like I said, there's factors either way. It's like, at least if it's with us, we know where it is.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna give it to Washington. Sorry. I keep like undoing things I'm doing, but I'm gonna hold on to it.
On second thought,
If it's only a quarter size, then
So we could also quasi split the party, and at least have some people stay back with the stone, and the rest, those of us that don't have a stone to protect, can actually move forward.
Yeah.
I mean, if Silverlock also does his whole mind out of body experience, then he could also report back if anything were to happen.
I think I'm just gonna hide it in my shoe and say we left it with Washington.
Okay.
but
So
the
you've
big
got
question is, how are we getting there? Are we going in disguise, or are we?
We have to find out who to disguise as first, I would say, right?
Well, it's being controlled by the British, so either are there papers that people need to have to travel within the city, or
eventually yes, but it only just fell, so likely that would not be in place yet.
so we might be getting into more issues if we are dressed up as regulars, because they might be going, well, who are you reporting to, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
I don't,
Facts.
There is something to be said for just looking normal.
That's what I was saying.
if you look like you know where you're going and you don't look suspicious,
You look like you belong there. Nobody will question your
Yeah.
presence.
well,
It's the
Same as stealing
purloined
a
letter.
letter. You just gotta walk out of there like you own it.
Challenge accepted.
Now I'm just imagining you strutting down the street looking very suspicious.
Didn't say I would do it well. Said I would do it.
so we riding a wagon or horses or what?
Gonna bedazzle some horses and walk in there, gallop in there with a bedazzled horse. I belong here. Hello. That
I
guy.
think
Well, the
I think
problem
at
with horses is, again, the army doesn't have a ton of those to spare. Like, you're going to have a hard time convincing Washington to give you 5 horses. You
I
can
don't-
try.
I can't
about
walk real
6?
well. Can we have some horses?
Or if we can get a wagon with,
Could we get there faster by boat?
I mean, that's very visual.
That's true.
Not very
Um,
covert.
I
we
would,
could
say,
also
I would say getting 6 horses would be a problem. Getting a wagon and a couple horses, more likely.
well, let's do that. Plus, if we tell Washington that we're actually going to be potentially trying to get him some more firepower, he may be more. Thank you. Might be more happy to give us aid.
Could I roll a bureaucracy check to try to go and acquire some of those?
That
Sure.
would always go well.
It's 2.
I'll say with the 2, you guys can get a wagon and something to pull the wagon.
So
A
I'll
donkey.
roll it up
Goats.
to
2
people
goats.
Yes.
still in discussion on what we
Like,
do, and
yeah, you
Graham
guys
rolls
can get
up
a small
with
wagon and
everything.
either an ox or an ass to pull it.
Yes.
I think let's take the ox since we don't want to use the captured
Oh.
prisoners.
Yankee. A pony. Can we have a pony? We can sing Yankee Doodle.
I'm looking to see what I have tokens for in terms of wagons, so I think I can do an ox.
Or a mule. Yeah, mule.
We're a very interesting looking bunch. They're probably looking for a peg leg too, by the way.
Yeah, Graham and I are probably ones that they're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, heck,
So Graham's been able to procure you guys an ox cart. Mary is hiding the Philosopher's Stone and not leaving it behind. Anything else you guys want to do before you head off?
Can I spend some experience to get demolitions and a keg
Yes.
of gunpowder?
Oh my god.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll give you a small keg of gunpowder.
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just just in
enough
case.
to blow up John Dee's house.
Adam, there's no one here besides Franklin who's not here to help me spend my points to upgrade my gun, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. The only people who I could think of who might be able to upgrade your gun are Franklin and John D. One isn't here and one isn't helping you.
One is pretty evil.
Although you are going to John D's house and he invented the gun,
Oh, I could ask him then.
there might be a situation if you wanted to spend your points where I'd let you find
Oh.
Blueprints.
The prototype for the 6-barreled.
Oh my god.
It's the revolver, but the whole barrels come off and you just put a new one on.
Done.
I mean, basically that's an Assassin's Creed weapon that I said, yeah, that can exist as an artifact.
So it's a street legal pistol.
My gun has 8 barrels. It's very impressive. Each one
Adrian.
would essentially have its own trigger, so it's like
Now that you're talking about barrels, there was a meme Adrian sent me that was fantastic.
Oh, the one of measurements? You want me to post that in the Discord? Okay.
It's funny.
Graham is going to be sitting at the driver's chair waiting for everybody to get on.
okay. Anyone else doing anything else in camp, or
Are there any things they have? Like, I always ask this question every campaign with you, Adam. Any like better armor they have to help us not get shot and stabbed as much?
not typically. I mean, like armor wasn't really in use at this time.
Like leather or anything, but
You could probably get in All for One. It's called a buff coat. It's basically a heavier coat that provides some protection. It wouldn't be something that would be in the camp, but when you were back in Allied territory, you could have one made for you.
Okay.
It's probably a pin of gunpowder.
I'm actually looking that up now.
In the time that this is taking, can I procure more pistols too?
Yeah, they have a leather jacket, which is a +1 on defense. Buff coat is +2.
Yeah. So Adrian, as a bomb, this has a.
Oh, let me write this down. This is going to be good.
Let me just double check this. Explosive firearms, firearm accessories. I now want to write a character who sells firearms and firearm accessories. That would amuse me. All right. It does 6L damage as a bomb. Weighs a pound. And
So this is handheld. This is like a jar of flour almost.
It's more in it. More like a grenade,
Yeah.
more than anything else.
That's even better.
It's like a, like one of those like. I'm trying to think of what the term is. Like a large coffee can of
Mhm.
gunpowder.
It's like something about this size, probably.
Yes,
Yeah.
maybe a little bigger around.
Okay.
Like
I
it's about the size of like a large coffee can, maybe a little smaller than a gallon of milk.
what have I done? We're all gonna blow up now.
I won't die, don't worry.
What about the rest of us?
I move pretty fast. I'll be fine.
Pretty sure grenades do not count as magical weapons, Mary.
I say nothing in response to that.
Well, if we're not leaving yet, I want to keep trying to find more and more stuff of usefulness before we leave.
Okay.
Some good rope.
All right, I'll give you guys a rope.
Rope is always helpful.
Yeah, so it's just Graham's going around the makeshift camp, picking up stuff that's not being used.
Yeah, Graham's like, okay, no one's attending to these.
Oh my
supplies."
god.
Basically.
Some guys like
Rope,
some guys
tarp.
like in a well. He has a rope to climb out. He's like, "Time to go." Oh shit!
Is
No
there
one's
a
using
grappling
this?
hook with the rope?
Picks up the musket. Oh, no one's using this gunpowder keg. Just shh. Let me just take that.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Yeah.
we might be kidnapping somebody. We might want to cover them in a tarp and
Oh yeah, I'm gonna look for some tar and feathers.
Oh my god!
No, tarp, not tar.
That's not what Graham heard. I'll be right back.
No,
I'm just
that
kidding.
is not something they would have just lying around.
I'm just kidding. That one.
Also, it's not just that you get feathers stuck in them to make them look goofy. It is actually quite horrific. The tar is quite hot when they.
Yeah, you get
Yeah, it's a very
burned.
painful way to die.
It's like, yeah, it is not. It is not as comical as, oh, we're gonna put sticky stuff on you and cover you in feathers.
There was a tar and feathering in that the show. Paul, was it John Adams? What show was it? I think there was one in the Adam and the one about him. Anyways, off topic.
I mean, you could definitely live through it because at least one guy was tarred and feathered twice. It was like a taxman in Boston who had it happen to him on multiple occasions.
Yeah, but it's really like you get burned all over.
Yeah,
Definitely not something that would be.
it is definitely in the you'd be surprised what you can live through category. All right. Anything else in camp?
They
Well,
might
still
not
more
have.
stuff. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
They're good. They're good.
I was just gonna make another joke, so it was completely pointless. Go ahead. Well,
Mine was a
There
joke too. So
okay. There wasn't a particular point, however, there was a punchline.
All right. So you guys have been there before. At least 3 of you have, and of those that haven't, one of you has spirit sense. You make your way to the cemetery and to the mausoleum that served as the exit point for the tunnel.
Do we have modern day things to help, get rid of fires? Like a bucket of water, or a bucket of dirt, or
I didn't hear like all the times when I said anything else at camp, and nobody said that. So no.
aw.
But did we get a
No.
tarp?
Especially, and I'm especially saying no because you made that whole point about fires that cannot be extinguished by means
True.
like water. So
Doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. And I did say it was a good idea to John's dirt. And did we get a tarp? Because we can just throw some dirt on a tarp and use it as like a
I'll
poor
say
man's
there's a
suitcase.
blanket. There's a heavy blanket covering everything in the wagon.
Cool.
like, covering the cask of gunpowder and various other supplies that you might not want to be seen just rolling down the street with.
Going so fast in an oxen cart. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna use it as like a hitchhiker suitcase and throw some dirt in it and toss it
Okay.
over John's shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to dig up some dirt. I mean, most of the streets in this part of New York are cobbled.
I'm
But yeah, so
certain
you guys
in a
can-
cemetery there's plenty of dirt.
Yeah. So you guys can-
Just start digging one of the
Actually-
graves.
Actually, this cemetery is mostly the paths are cobbled. Most of the graves are like mausoleums. But I'll say, yeah, you guys would have to leave the ox cart at the entrance to the cemetery and carry everything. I need perception checks, and I'll let two of you do it.
I have an 8.
Do we actually have things in the cart that are considered suspicious?
The gunpowder.
Gunpowder,
muskets.
presumably your muskets.
The extra goat that I brought.
Can I
No.
just use some of my?
Just kidding.
I don't know if actually taking the cloth off the
There's a 5 for you.
those items would be a good idea.
All right, Dr. Channing, as you guys move closer to the mausoleum where the tunnel entrance was, you in particular notice that the air feels much warmer and drier than it should. Like, especially when you guys get inside, it's got that kind of warm, dry, like if you've ever been in a house with like a fireplace that's been going for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
everything feels like a little toasty, a little toastier than it should in late September.
I
In
have
New
a water
York?
skin.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Is anybody here secretly a waterbender? Asking for a friend.
That would be so useful right now.
I think that's the elemental fury spell, but you would need enough water to.
Well, bloodbending, so that's also an option.
What the
Yeah.
happened to my? Who put a copy of the Declaration of Independence? Oh wait, no, we're good. We're good.
What?
Sorry, like there's a copy of the Declaration of Independence in my inventory,
Yeah.
so I'm like
many
national treasure.
many copies were printed in Philadelphia. I think a couple of you took one. It's not like this is not a Nicolas Cage situation. This is like the ones that were published in the
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah, I'm getting that right now, but my inventory
Just
has
making clear. This
like
is
a
one that
double
was like
spacing.
published for anyone to have. You did not go all Nicolas Cage.
my inventory looks weird.
Yeah, mine does too. It's like
Yeah,
there's like three lines for each.
exactly. And I had the horseman's head, so I had to delete that because we burned that a while ago.
Yeah.
Or did we?
And I also have the document seized in Nesu that I would have turned
That's all. Yeah,
into
Nessu?
that's all.
Oh, Nessa.
Yeah.
Nasa. Yeah, that one.
Oh, good perceptions.
Yeah, the documents are basically just kind of information that led you to John D.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're in this mausoleum. It's a little toasty. Like not like you're feeling hot, but like,
There's been a fire going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the air, the air is just a little warmer and drier than it should be.
Can I, Mr. Silverlock, pass me your musket?
I don't have one anymore.
Also, just want to point out something. We might want to leave our gunpowder somewhere further away if it's getting warmer.
You overreact. It's not that warm.
I look at you and I'm like, okay.
Are you guys when you guys carried stuff in the wagon? Did you bring the cask of gunpowder with you?
I would not have. I would have
No.
told John to leave it behind.
Okay.
No,
But why?
It's on my belt. I took it.
John, do you want to explode? Sorry, Graham, do you want to explode?
Are you worried about the flames? I don't know, motion around.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity. I mean,
That would be bad for the gunpowder. Maybe I should leave it behind.
I love my gunpowder. That's my process.
No, I do have it with me.
Actually, Adrian, I am gonna, because we are talking about a barrel, I am gonna upgrade it to the 10L gunpowder.
Suicide.
I think this is a horrible idea, Graham.
I agree.
I picture him like keeping it like, I've got this.
Actually, no.
Yeah,
the 10L one, the 10L one weighs 20 pounds. That's
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to bring that with me. I would probably just. I don't want to leave it in the wagon though. For
leave that to
someone
the entrance
find.
of the.
yeah.
What Graham didn't say is that before he left the camp, he took like a bunch of baby's clothes and wrapped the actual barrel in baby's outfit.
As
like,
Graham
oh.
was bringing gunpowder onto a cart where we're going to prevent a fire, Mary was automatically concerned.
You didn't say anything about it back in the camp.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we experience some slight disagreement and then explode.
Even the DM agrees with me.
Yeah, the canister is only 1 pound, so yeah, I don't think you'd be carrying a 20-pound
No, yeah.
cask versus a 1 pound canister.
Yeah, well, that's my question. Which one would you have taken? Are you
The
looking
portable
for like?
one.
Okay,
And that's about the same size as your powder flask or horn for your.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
One
little
that
bigger.
one you
Yeah, they're
could
both a
presumably
pound.
chuck at John D and say, "Eat this."
Okay, so you wanted one that you could actually use as a thrown bomb. Okay,
Grenade.
that's good to. I mean, grenades do exist. You could
Yeah.
have just gotten grenades.
They're only a 4L though.
Is it 6 or 4?
6 for the canister of black
Yeah.
powder. The grenade is a 4L, but
And then like a 20-pound barrel is 10L.
Yeah, I don't think that is exactly what he was going for, but he does want to have that kind of an explosive.
Okay. Yeah.
wants to burning down the house, you know.
All right. So you guys are there.
This is for Plan F.
As in, we are so.
I got it, Adam. I got it.
Yeah. So,
The
do you guys
DM
head down
agrees.
the tunnel?
Yeah, I pull out the saber. It's like I prefer using my hands, but I've found these things are can be useful at times.
I grab every water skin that we have available to our persons.
All right, you head
Yeah,
down the
carry
stairs. And then there's the underground level where there's, some stone caskets waiting for their future occupants. You open the door to the tunnel. You begin heading down. And there, you make a perception check. And there's a negative 4 penalty because it's really dark here and none of you are carrying a candle or a lantern.
Yeah, let me make this.
Can I
Are we
roll
all
Negative
rolling?
4?
my magical one or?
Not
you
for
s-
this.
Did you say a negative 4?
Are we all able to roll?
I'll let 2 of you do it. Or I'll let 3 of you do it.
All right. I presumably would be in the back because I'm expecting to have to load the magic bullet if needed. So.
You don't need to roll very high, so I would say Mary and Channing, you both see there is a satchel. Like, right is you start entering the more natural tunnel, there's a satchel there. It's got some burn marks on it, but it's otherwise intact. The strap of it seems to have been
Burnt off.
Hard.
burned through, and that's why it was abandoned.
Does it look like Rubido's satchel?
Would you like to examine it?
With like the end of a stick, maybe.
You poke
Pry it
it with-
open with the stick.
You poke it with a stick, it does not react. It is a satchel. And
Okay. At this point, I would examine it, yeah.
Okay. as you begin running through it, you do notice there is a pistol in it. Presumably, if someone were on fire, they might abandon such a thing. There's some clothing. It's got little burn holes in it, like if you ever seen clothes
Clothes
that.
with burn holes.
Cigarette bullet
Yeah.
burns. Yeah.
I've been too close to a fire and had ash get on me, and
Okay, yeah, like I don't know, like I've been to a bonfire. I've seen what happens if a little cinder lands on your clothes.
most of the time though, that's with polyester. I would assume this would probably be cotton, but yeah,
But it burns too. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
does.
So yeah, you're going through, you find that, and then there's a document in there, a letter, which I'm about to give you access to. In the
Excellent.
character handouts letters, this will be labeled "Letter in the Satchel."
I could tell your naming this week is really on point, Adam.
Well, not everything needs a creative. And I'm giving everyone access to this, though. At first, it would only be Mary who can read it.
Can I actually read it in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. Sorry, because it's so dark. You are writing this letter that should be proof that I know your location. Wrote.
Do any of your characters speak German?
No.
Welsh.
No. Actually, if anyone has a high linguistics, I'll let you make a roll, because sometimes if you don't know a language, you might know a couple words.
I have an
If-
average of 2.
I have linguistics Algonquian.
What is your total linguistics?
It's a 6.
I'll let you roll. I'll let you at least try.
Okay.
Scholar, you may have picked up.
A phrase here or there.
No,
Cook and
yeah.
mouse means church mouse, right?
it does. And so I'll give that to you. Yes. Rota Kirchenmaus is red church mouse.
Did he turn the 3 mice into the kids?
No.
I think this is just a pet name in a
Mhm.
grizzly kind of way.
Like in Russian, there's a pet name, White Bunny.
So yes, you guys are able to read the letter. You might have to step back into the more well-lit area to do so, but
Trinity Church is the location of one of the
Ley lines.
lands. That is sus.
yes. Let me say that.
Kazi?
Katsa.
Katsa?
Yes.
Cat, right?
Mm-hmm. And yes. So you guys, again, you have this, you find this letter. It's amongst some other things in the satchel.
Well,
Is it pretty clear there's nobody down here
Make a perception check.
with the -4 still?
No.
No?
Nope.
that was really good.
Looking further down the tunnel, you can see a glow, like the glow of an ember,
Okay.
flickering down the tunnel.
I'm going to start loading the musket with the special bullet. Or did Mary ever give me the special bullet?
Can I get closer?
Hale gave you the special bullet right after he got you guys from jail. If you're the one who, I always thought you were the one who took it when he.
I would have wanted to, seeing as so
yes.
Graham's the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I had always assumed because
I
you were the one who
would
took
Yeah.
an interest in it. when
Mary
he first showed
took it
to
for
you, and-
sure.
I just thought you were taking like all the artifacts because you're the magic.
No,
Um,
no, I would not have
I
had
thought
any.
Graham is the one who took the bullet.
Okay, I would
It's
like to load it into the musket, please.
kind of like John taking a really special gun. Makes
So,
some sense.
Yes. So yes, down the tunnel you see again the silhouette kind of glowing like an ember. Not brightly, but enough that in the darkness it stands out.
Hello? Rubido?
Yes. You found me. Stay back. He holds out his hand. A little fire. It gets a little brighter, so you can now see clearly. His face is stained with soot. His hair is unkempt. His clothes have still more burn marks. He appears to be unarmed. He's like clutching his midsection like he's got a wound almost.
Yeah.
Though he doesn't appear to actually have a wound. There's no. It's not like he's been shot. It's like he's almost like he's, I don't know, got a really bad stomach ache that he's holding his stomach for.
We're here to try to help you as best we can.
It's too late. I felt it. Yes. Negredo. Help me. My brother.
The cat?
He found me. No. I tried to make it to Negredo before he. But I couldn't make it. It's taking most have to hold it in. Can't save him by myself.
You don't know how much. Oh, sorry, this is completely out of character, but Rebecca really wants to like pour her holy water on Rubido so badly. I got a restock, and I'm wondering like if he drinks it and then we pour some on him.
Graham is standing back, kind of musket low, but it's one of these things that harkens back to when we found Legion. He's like in the background, do I need to do anything here? And he's keeping several paces back, but
Sure.
kind of like, what is this?
I'm going to go up to him and say, will you let me examine you?
Be careful.
Right.
Can I roll
And
academic
suddenly
occult?
the glowing aura around him kind of dissipates. He is
Okay.
warm to the touch, not like fire, but like someone who's burning up from a fever.
Okay.
Make a medicine check to get anything else.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Can I roll an academics occult to see if holy water would have any effect on him?
You
Because
can certainly try.
I'm so tempted to have him drink some.
Dr. Channing, he appears healthy. There are no wounds on. I mean, there are some minor burns on him, like little burns here and there, but nothing that would be a cause for worry. He is burning up. Like you would say, he was feverish if you didn't have some idea that him more than that.
It probably won't work, but I'm going to give him something for fever, like willow bark or whatever they had back then for fever.
Okay.
I'll give you some holy water to let him, wash it down. Or whatever.
Drink it.
I don't know. It's my brain. It's saying holy water. But
Well, ma'am, I suggest we wait on that for a little bit. I want to see
Well,
what
he needs
willow
water
bark
to
is
wash
for-
it down.
he does need water.
Holy
we've
water
got
is
other
only
water. We've got other kinds of water. I don't want to complicate matters with that.
All right. So
That's why I would not
he takes what you're giving him, and it actually seems to help him a little bit. He doesn't look like he's in quite so much agony.
Okay.
Thank you. That actually helps some. But
So, do you know where Negredo is?
the letter. He said he would be taking him to Trinity Church. I had hoped to stop him before he got Negredo, but I felt him through our link. I felt him be taken.
What's wrong
Get
with...
to him.
What's happening to you, man?
I don't know. We saved Negredo. I followed through the tunnel. I heard Albedo say he attacked Negredo, and I was so angry, and I don't know what happened. I was so angry. When I came to, I was in the cemetery. You had left. I understand. Why?
Out of curiosity, would Cohen be able to like?
It looked like you were in bed, and I'm like, what's that noise? Oh, jeez. Sorry, I just had a heart attack almost.
Roll medicine check to help with the heart attack.
We've had a lot of popping and crackling noises in our house recently, and it's kind of left us all a little on edge.
Roll academics occult.
Anytime I hear like random dripping noises, I get slightly paranoid because we had like a leak in our kitchen at one point that was really bad. So
Yeah.
now whenever I hear water dripping, I'm like,
That's me, except it was a leak from my air conditioner last summer.
it was for us legit like a constant dripping from our light fixture from the upstairs neighbor.
Oh,
Oh no, with me there was a dripping from my air conditioner, which the air conditioner is right near the stairs, so it was dripping like down, and I had I had to put a bucket on two of my
Waterfall.
steps because it was bad. But yeah, Ruido seems better. He's able to talk without wincing in pain every other word.
Graham is gonna inch closer. Is Josiah still bent over him, up closer? Did he take a step back?
I mean, presumably he's treating him. He said he was treating him for fever, so he presumably gave him the tonic and maybe put a damp cloth on his forehead to try to bring the fever down.
Okay, if that's the case, I don't want to get close to him, so I'll go probably to, I guess, Silverlock, unless you're up close too. And do you know what's happening to him? Is his magic going to implode, or?
Would I be able to ask him some questions and roll academics occult to try to figure out the cause of this?
What are your questions? And then after
did you feel any strange phenomena when you caught on fire? Like, where was the source of it?
again, I heard Albedo talking about how he attacked Negredo.
Mm-hmm.
I was so angry. I wanted to lash out at him.
Do you have any? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Then I don't know. That's the last thing I remember before I woke up with this. It's like I can feel it inside of me, just wanting to bubble through to the surface, and it's taking everything I have to keep it in.
Do you know how you were created?
Sorry.
Yeah, this is a weird question for normal people, but he's not a normal person.
No.
Yeah, of the sons,
I
was
know-
he the youngest or oldest, or were they all created at the same? Or
We were created by Father. I know we don't have a mother. Father created us using his alchemy. That's all I know.
Were you created at the same time or separately?
Negredo was created first. Albedo and I were created a week later.
What's your earliest memory?
Awakening in Father's lab. And from the beginning, I could hear Negredo's thoughts, and he could hear mine.
What was all in the lab when you woke up?
Books, papers, alchemy supplies. Father, Negredo.
Wait, were you full grown when you woke up?
No, but we weren't infants. We were. And he kind of indicates like maybe the height of like maybe a 6 or 7 year old. Yeah.
But here on me.
It's a preteen, yeah.
Yeah.
4 foot. 3, 4, yeah.
Your youngest brother uses magic, well, healing. Your oldest brother has psychic abilities. I've always believed that you have fire abilities due to your hair.
My ability. Albedo has healing. Negredo has. I forget what Father calls it, but he can move things with his mind.
Telekinesis.
And then Negredo and I also have. We can hear each other's thoughts, and if we try, we can hear other people's thoughts. It's hard to hear anyone else, but we can hear each other without even trying.
Have you ever discussed with your brothers when they use magic where they feel it comes from?
Not. I kind of understand how Negredo's power works because I felt him using it. I never had any other power. That's why I've always used guns.
Well, we heard you.
Personally, I'm inclined to think that you always did have a power. You just hadn't unleashed it, and your anger has caused it. Have you ever been angry before to this extent? I feel like I'm a psychiatrist.
I mean, I've been mad, but I don't think I've ever been as angry as I was hearing my brother tried to murder my other brother.
It's the new hound.
Have you been trying to control this since it unleashed?
Yes.
Have you been just fearful of it, or have you been trying to think of happy thoughts that, Man, I seriously feel like a psychiatrist mixed with Peter
So-
Pan.
Tell me about your relationship with your mother.
I've been trying to keep the power contained. I don't want to destroy the city. I don't want to destroy anything. But I feel like if I can't contain this, then I'm not sure how much. There are times when it feels like it could.
Well,
Rip through the whole city if I let it out.
Do you think we need to get you on a boat somewhere?
that's what I'm thinking. Get him on a boat somewhere and
No! And he kind of flares up a little bit. I have to help my brother. I can't run away, not while he's in danger.
Okay, calm down, calm down.
Graham's gonna take another couple steps back.
I think maybe we could help your brother more than you can right now.
If you go to help your brother, you're more likely to burn down the church than anything else.
If I don't go to him, Negredo's dead. He made that clear.
Who made it clear?
The man in the letter. The man who wrote the letter.
Do you know who it was who wrote the letter?
No. He signed it, but I don't think that's his real name. German. It just means cat.
What are the Germans doing in New York City?
Well, the Huns are here.
The Hessian mercenaries. They came to fight your army.
What do
Do
they have
I
to do
know-
with you, though?
Do I know of any Hessian people that would be interested in occult things?
No, the Hessians are a relatively new arrival at this point in history. You haven't had a lot of interaction with them.
Okay.
Actually, make an intelligence roll.
I was going to say the horseman, wasn't he?
In Sleepy Hollow, he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Hmm. Are there things like arcane focuses in this world?
What do you mean?
Like where you can help use like a medium to control magic?
Yeah, there are artifacts that could presumably help you.
Huh?
I would say, yeah, there are probably artifacts of that nature. I mean, the Philosopher's Stone is...
And see, I was thinking she was thinking of something that would sort of ground out your magic.
Hmm.
It's possible.
Oh, your father has a rock that
The Philosopher's Stone, yes.
No,
I'll help you
no.
get it.
the rock that he took that doesn't allow.
You mean that coin that prevented anyone from seeing in? Yes, I know it. It went missing.
It went missing?
You guys took it, remember?
Oh,
Well,
no.
and he got it back.
He
Yeah.
got it back.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's why I was like, it went missing.
It went missing from his perspective. You guys stole it.
Well, we took it for. We didn't even have it for more than an hour, I think.
Yeah.
Would that rock?
You might have
the-
given it back to John D. He might not have, Rubito might not have known that.
Would that coin help? Like, it doesn't allow people to listen in. Like, would it be a magic barrier in a sense?
Your understanding is it just prevents people from looking in. It doesn't cancel out magic. Like you were able to even
Mm-hmm.
use your own magic in its presence. It's just
Okay. I'm trying to think of a way for him to control his magic. Right. Can I roll an academics occult for that?
sure.
This has been a slight waste of time. I apologize, everyone. That was a pretty good roll, though.
Yeah. You think this is kind of a willpower thing. Like he is going to have to control it with his will until he's able to learn to use it productively.
Dr. Channing, a word.
Yes.
Can I
Uh,
give him some coaching on that briefly while they're
stay-
having a word?
yeah.
Your magical tradition, you're not really able to work with another magical tradition, let alone like innate psychic powers gifted by ancient alchemy.
Hmm.
Yeah, see here in here, I'm thinking of seeing if I can project to Virginia and see if she can temporarily loan me some something that would psychically or that he could channel his power into or whatever to sort of ground him out.
Dr. Channing,
Yes.
I think with what he's been saying, we probably should go investigate the church, but he's obviously in no condition to come with us in his state. If we just pull out the pistol holding it by like the butt up in the air, we just knock him out. Well, his magic, do you think that would solve his problem?
No, I would not do such a thing.
Can you sedate him?
I certainly could. What is our plan? To leave him here?
I don't think
Dr. Channing, I will point out as a man of science, a completely stone tunnel is probably the best place for him to be if he's bursting into flames.
Well, sir, I think since we are surrounded by stone, this might be the safest place to leave him.
I don't want to leave him unattended, but I think we do need to go find his brother.
He would be hidden, and if he were to,
my concern is he will not willingly agree to let us go in his stead.
well, do you see your point?
Yeah, Adam, can I use my between using my spirit or not spirit sense, my astral projection and using, since I did boost my patron level up with Virginia, to see if I could get a temporary artifact to help contain his power?
Yes, I will. Yes, you want to astral project to Virginia and try to get.
Mary, do you not have a sleep spell? I've seen you use it against the redcoats.
I do.
This might perhaps be a good time to use it. What do you think? I don't know much about your your types of power, but
hold on, let me double check. I believe the sleep spell will only work for an hour.
we may not
Wait,
need
nope. -2 per hour of sleep.
So you could put him out for several hours then, which might be enough for us to get to the church. And
My question is, can he hear this conversation?
Well, and also it's like, would
Well,
he be
no,
able to control
purposely
the
having it
power too?
outside of his hearing?
I will say you guys can. I mean, I'll show you guys what the tunnel looks like. I don't know why.
I always got a map for it.
Yeah, because you were going to have a battle at one point.
When Bram was talking about shooting someone, I figured that there might be a chance this ends in violence, so I'm prepared a map. Also, I have the map in case you guys got followed down the tunnel during the escape from the house.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, different from the tunnel he had for the other game that ended abruptly, but
yeah, it's not Dr.
The
Frankenstein's murder basement. But so here's the tunnel. Up here continues leading to John Dee's house. Here's the stairs going up to
cemetery.
Yeah. And you guys are like here. Rubidoux is like basically at the northern edge of this map is Rubidoux, and you guys would be like in this area here. So yeah, you guys could go into a side tunnel and I will say as long as you're kind of in this main tunnel, you can see because Rubidoux is giving off a little bit of light.
Okay.
Or if you're in this other room here, you can see because there's a little light filtering in from above.
Okay.
Well,
but yeah, I tell him that I might be able to get help from Virginia. She might be able to loan us something that would would be able to at least neutralize his powers, or at least
I want to try that first before I try putting him to sleep. Because he's going to be upset when he wakes up. And the more wild his emotions, specifically anger, the worse he is at controlling his magic.
Shouldn't we try having Virginia Dare talk to him first then?
well, she can't get here. It's like I'd have to go there
Oh,
astrally.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, if Silverlock astral projects to Virginia, which is what I think you said you were doing,
Yeah.
because you have that patron bonus and have unlocked a temporary resource, she informs you to go upstairs in the cemetery, and she kind of gives you a vision of this very specific tree that you'll find growing there.
Yeah. I assume it would be some ivy or something that I would have to collect.
Basically, yeah, like this tree that you're pretty sure wasn't there before has grown.
I have an idea. It's an acorn, and if it gets too hot, it turns into popcorn.
No, it's basically it's a very thin sapling. Harvest this, and he can basically, instead of channeling his power out,
into
kind of
it.
back into the planet.
Oh, okay.
So he now has a walking stick.
Pretty much. It's basically like a lightning rod for excess magic.
And it points it towards the earth rather than out. I like
Yeah.
that. I approve.
He just can't use it in any buildings because
I mean, yeah, if you're
Well.
you kind of need to be outside for it to work, because if you put it on a wooden floor, it's going to have the same effect of not using it. The building is going to burn.
Fireball.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and I bring it back and tell him it's like, yeah, come out, and, because since it sounds like it's a stone floor, or is it earthen floor
stone.
here?
and it's natural stone in the tunnel. The floor is natural stone, so it would likely work there. But yeah,
Well, I have him try in where he's at, and if it doesn't work, then take him outside to do it. But
stand back. Go.
Yeah.
Through the door. He sends you guys into the room with the stairs, and you hear a thump on the floor as he hits the staff on the floor, and then you hear just a scream akin to a Dragon Ball character powering up. And everything goes quiet.
So
The
he's
door,
super. Yeah.
as you're waiting to hear the door move slightly, Rubido is standing there. He's actually looking much better. Like, not doubled over in pain, not like he's...
yeah,
I
actually,
almost compare it to like he was trying really hard not to throw up is kind of the...
yeah. Well, he wasn't green before. He was overly red. Now he looks pale because he's sort of gotten through the worst of
Yeah, he's not
Getting over a
feverish.
fever.
He's drenched in sweat. He's still got soot on his face. He looks like hell, but
he's
he
feeling
doesn't
much better.
look like he's about to. Yeah, and I really did base how he appeared on like someone who's trying really hard not to throw up.
No, I hate that.
Yeah, when you're green to the gills, but I doubted he'd be green.
The staff itself, it's got a little bit of,
Charring.
but it seems like it's going to hold up at least for a while. Thank you. But now I have to go after my brother.
Do you think he plans to kill you too?
What? Yeah, I think we might be able to help out. It's like I don't think you're quite up to speed here, or at least at your best strength. I think we should, I motioned to the rest of us, should be more than willing to be able to help. It's like or be able to control the situation.
You're welcome to come with me.
I'm glad to hear you say that, boy.
I would even appreciate your help, but I need you to promise me that no matter what, Negredo makes it out of there alive.
What about you?
I'm slightly more concerned about your other brother, given the situation.
Albedo's not a brother of mine anymore. Not after what he did.
I apologize. I got your brothers confused. I think we're on the same page.
That was glorious.
Well then, let's go.
Graham just nods.
Sheepishly.
Alright. Anything else you guys want to do? Rubido is heading toward Trinity Church. Like,
I would give Rubido some cloth to wipe off at least.
okay, yeah, he
'Cause-
kind of wipes the sweat and the soot from his face, and he looks a little more presentable. I mean, his hair is still like somebody who's, had a fever and been sleeping uncomfortably for a few days. Like, he's gonna stand out a little bit. Like, you're not gonna completely get rid of the dead man walking look about him, but yeah, you can at least clean off his face and make himself a little more.
I'm just wondering if he's going faster than what the oxen cart would be going, because
No.
they don't move that quick.
I mean, he probably would be if he were not
Dead men walking.
in the state. Yeah, in the state
Okay.
he's in.
Well, I feel like we need to go to the church, and I wonder who this cat person is. Yeah.
Did you remember from last week? We got a letter talking about the hunter.
You did.
Something message from Nathan Hale, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see.
I was just about. I have that on my to read.
Oh
list.
yeah.
Oh, it's totally important for what we're doing.
Oh my goodness. This would have. Sorry.
It's like this would have been useful to know.
I know you had mentioned it, or at the beginning, but Becca might not have.
Yeah. So
Shh. I'm reading.
So this is clearly what. Yeah. Okay. I see. Well, Rubido, the Hessians are opposing our army as well, so the enemy of your enemy is your friend.
But it looks like he might have been armed by your father.
Rudy gives you a look that makes you really glad that you gave him something to let him drain his power before you told him that.
It's been
What
hard
you know
news
about
all
him is
around.
that betrayal is what, turned him into a walking bomb.
I will remember that and start to sidestep away a little bit, hand down my grenade.
Again, he's fine now. He's essentially drained out all his power.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to a place that's the ley lines converge.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah.
Can you use a weapon?
On the way, can I do like a +2
I had a
on
pistol
myself?
in my satchel, but I cast it aside, not wanting to ignite the powder.
Oh. I hold his satchel out to him.
quite wise.
I will open it and just pull out the pistol and stuck it in my belt.
He kind of notes that you.
Wait. Graham, do you already have a pistol?
I do. But he just said he
It's
can't
got
use
two.
it.
Yeah, you can use it now.
You can use it now.
No.
Are you going to?
When I said I have hand out the satchel, I wasn't saying I give it to Graham.
I just imagine you're like, this satchel?
Grab. Oh, yay! Thanks.
Yeah,
All
there's
right,
supposed
so-
to be a pistol in there.
Yeah, Rubido would take the pistol from the satchel and kind of stick it just in his belt.
If he's
Okay.
going to rescue his brother,
I
It
imagine
seems
he's
somewhat
going to go
important.
all like Zuko.
the person who has your brother, what do you know about him? Other than him calling himself the cat.
Nothing. Though, again, I was connected to Negredo when he took him, and Negredo was frightened. I don't believe this is a good man.
Well, no. Evidently he likes to cruelly play with his prey before he kills them, and he has 2 bullets with sharp bits of Philosopher's Stone in them. Not that I know what that effect would have on you or anyone, but there it is.
I don't either.
They were given by your father.
If anyone else would know, it would be Negredo. He was the one father who helped father with his research. He might be able to give you some answers.
If we're going up against one of the Hessians, then it sounds like they're mercenaries. Silverlock,
Well-
can you turn into scout ahead as we get close to the church? See if you can pinpoint where he's located.
I possibly could, but if he's well concealed, it's hard to
No.
say if
If he is, it's almost, if you can find the brother, they won't be too far away.
I'm just wondering if that's.
No, otherwise we're just going to walk straight into the trap.
While we're doing that, while we're walking straight into a trap, excuse me, while people are driving, while I just cast Empower on myself.
Okay.
And maybe one other who would like to have Empower.
Who else would you like to give it to?
Does this require sneaking? Because if so, maybe me.
It very well could.
Yeah, let's go with him, Thomas. Let's go with Thomas.
Go with that guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
him.
So
He has
I'll
a.
note that both you and Thomas have Empower. I'll give you each a +2.
And I might want to do my my animal. What is that? The
Your Brave Star thing, yeah.
with the deer, because that one gives me the run ability,
All right.
which seems to work well.
Okay, so Jeff, make a note that you're going with deer for your.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh dear.
that's where we'll pick up next week with you guys approaching Trinity Church. Next week, episode 38, Katze and Mice.